Hello and welcome to Matt Loves Eurovision. It's my Eurovision 2025 Top 37 countdown, place number 7, Austria, JJ, Wasted Love. Please do click on the subscribe button, ring that notification bell and like, share and comment below. It's been 10 years since Austria hosted the contest in Vienna, having won for the second time in their history in 2014 with Rise Like a Phoenix, of course, by Conchita Wurst. Now, Austrian results since then have been quite up and down. They had 3 non-qualifications in a row between 2019 and 2022, yet they were also, in 2018, the jury winner of Eurovision, and they finished 3rd overall that year. Their 2023 entry, which had been number 2 in my own personal rankings that year, generated a lot of excitement, and perhaps even if let down a bit by the running order and maybe the staging too. But Austria rarely keep the things from the same from year to year, and they do take risks. And I think that observation definitely applies to this year's effort. But will a wasted love be wasted effort for singer-songwriter JJ? Now, as with so many of, I think it feels like so many of this year's artists, it seems JJ is actually a stage name, and his real name is Johannes Pietsch, or Peach, who, like a previous Austrian contestant, Vincent Bueno, he is actually Austrian-Filipino. He has an Austrian father and a Filipino mother. He spent actually his childhood and his teenage years, or early teens, in Dubai before he returned to Austria. And from then he has entered a couple of TV music talent shows, The Voice and Starmania. He didn't win either of those, but did proceed to kind of the latter stages. And then he went on to study at Vienna's Music and Arts University. But he's also visited the opera school of the Vienna State Opera, and indeed his musical genre is a mix of pop and opera. Now, he and his song were selected via Austria's usual internal selection, which they've used for several years. It's proved quite like the Swiss one. They have a sort of a short list of songs and artists, and it's assessed by panels of a mixture of Eurovision experts, music industry professionals, and also kind of sort of Eurovision fan groups, or OJE. Now, Wasted Love is co-written by JJ, but it's also co-written by the co-performer and the co-writer of the 2023 entry that we've already mentioned, Who the Hell is Edgar? And that is Taya. Now, she was also someone who had heard the code before it was released, and she had identified it as the likely winner of the contest. So she certainly has got some good instincts. Now, Wasted Love makes full use of JJ's popera background, and he himself is actually a countertenor who sings into the highest soprano ranges. The lyrics are all about unrequited love, and somehow this connects quite well with me, because that's something I have known in my youthful past. I certainly had more than one experience of unrequited love. And it's all suitably dramatic with that popera style that he has, until you get to the last part of the song, and then suddenly you go into a techno EDM up-tempo end, which is definitely, I think, in fitting with Austria's tendency to do surprises and take risks. Now, without giving away just yet how this has been received by the fandom, I was impressed with this on release, but it didn't jump to the top of my rankings straight away, and it's taken a little while to work its way to here, to number 7, chiefly because I had found that that sudden change to the techno ending, I don't think it quite fitted or worked for me. But I've got over that though with more listens, and I think it does work quite well. I'm still not 100% sold on it, I will be honest. But the other 2 thirds of the song I really enjoy. It definitely raises. It's one of those songs that does raise goosebumps and those hairs on your arm. It's very dramatic. I really connect with the lyrics. Now, JJ himself has said he is queer, and so being gay myself, I think I can really associate with some of those things about unrequited love, because you find yourself in that position sometimes as a gay or a queer person in the backgrounds in the kind of environments you may come across. And just generally, it just genuinely is quite one of these ones that kind of goes, oh, that really stands out, and it kind of stands out as, oh, this could be a potential winner. Now back to the reaction amongst the fandom. Now at the time of recording this, JJ is top of the Eurovision scoreboard. Now that almost never means that this will automatically be the favourite to win or will win. We had Angelina Mango last year, who was way ahead at the top of the scoreboard, but had a good result, but wasn't really that close to the win. But it does suggest that this is very much in the running. In the AGA fan poll, which is coming towards the conclusion now, there's still a few clubs left to report, again, at the time of recording this. It's sitting in, again, it's been swapping around the kind of first and second places. I think it's settled into kind of second place now, but quite a close second place. And also looking at the betting odds, that also backs this up. I mean, if you look at the qualifying for the final, almost seems certain. It's going to be certainly in the top three, I think, in the televote for the semi-final, one suspects. And at the moment, in the overall odds to win, it's sitting as second in the odds there. Therefore, I definitely think this is a contender for the win. And you can see that this has, I think, potential to get that combination of a big jury vote and also a very good televote as well. Similar to Nemo last year, when they did it, well, obviously super well in the jury. But Nemo also did well in the televote. I know some people have described this as being, oh, it's very similar to The Code. I don't think that is true. They have completely different songs and genres, but I can see there is a certain crossover in the sense that you have these kind of dramatic changes of genre within the song, and that big kind of those popra moments as well. So I can see why there are some similarities, but they are not. This is not a copy of The Code at all. I'll also just caveat a little bit about some of the likelihood of this to win. There is a bit of a significant gap between JJ and the bookies' favourite, clear favourite, Kai from Sweden. And there are some concerns, I think, about that end part where he effectively will be backing vocal because he can't sing that. It's a vocal, that the vocal that you have in that the techno part just isn't to be sung live, but he will obviously be doing presumably something dancing. Could that harm the jury score? What's his stage presence like as well? He's not been giving away much, I think, in terms of kind of what his stage presence would be like on the actual stage when he's been performing in the pre-parties. But we are promised something new and daring, aren't we always? But new and daring for the staging. They've also got Sergio Hayen is working on this, on the staging for this. He was the creative director behind Bambi Thug last year. So I think combined with the song and the vocal ability and the staging, might we see a third Austrian win a decade on from their last hosting of the contest. Do please, of course, look at my website. You can read up here or there about it, www.mattloveseurovision.com. But also, please do let me know in the comments what you think. Again, saying what your number 7 is in the top 10. And join me again soon as we carry on with the very top of my rankings. Take care.